In this video, I want to show you how to make a bunch of cards and import them into Anki all at once using Excel. This can be especially helpful if you have access to Bible software that you can, or a similar software that you can get a large list of Greek words all at once. What we're going to do, for example, we'll find all the words in 1 John to make vocabulary cards for them. So I'm going to set up a search here in accordance that finds all the words in 1 John, 2,143 of them. Go here to their analysis, and what we see in this analysis is every word in 1 John. There are 236 distinct words in 1 John, distinct lexical items. What you do with this list of words, select them all, copy them all, and go over here to my Excel spreadsheet, paste them in. This stuff is all useless, so get rid of it. Okay, so now I've got a bunch of words. Each word, you've got a lexical item. If there's a root in accordance, it gives that root, and if not, it doesn't. So you've got 3 columns. Now, what Anki does is it treats each cell as a piece of data that needs to go somewhere on the card. So if you want all of your stuff to go in the same spot, if you want your words, your definitions to all go in the same spot, and if you want to keep this this root information, you want that to all be in the same spot on your cards, you'd have to go through and manually adjust all these. At that point, you could manually say, oh, I already know this word, and I'll delete it. So that's one way to do it. An alternate way to do it would be to just go in here to your settings in accordance and tell it to not show the root, the lexeme. Now it's all just, everything is 2 pieces of data. Go back in here and get rid of all this. Alright, so when I copy and paste it all that way, it's all 2 pieces of data, so I don't run into that problem and I won't need to do any manual work. So that's one way around that, but now we've got all this data. So the trick here is for Anki, to make Anki cards from Excel, the trick is all in how you save the file. So Anki cannot work with a normal Excel file, but you can save as a CSV UTF-8 file if that's available. There are some other CSV ones, and I've seen other people making decks with them, but this one has always worked for me, so I always use that. Name your file something you remember, yada yada yada. Possible data loss, ignore that, it's irrelevant for what we're doing. Now you go to your Anki profile. I don't have a deck where I would put it on my test user profile here, so I'll make a new deck. Go to File, Import, and this will bring up, you have to go and pick which file you want to import, so we go and find it wherever we saved it. In this case, it's my 1 John CSV file. And then it brings up Anki's import options. So here you have to choose which sort of deck you're going to use. I usually make cards with this all-purpose card from over at Fluent Forever. It's a very useful card, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'll just do the basic card. Now what you're going to do is, Anki has already detected that there's just 2 pieces of data. There's just 2 columns, so it gives me 2 fields that I'm going to put data in. Field 1 is all the information in column A. Field 2 is all the information in column B. So for each one of these 236 items, you have a column A, column B entry, and right now the information in column A will be put on the front of a basic card. Information in column B will put on the back. That's fine, that's the way we want it. So I go ahead and import. And what I see is I've just made 236 notes, all in one fell swoop. I have to go and adjust the review information in here. For whatever reason, this deck is not functioning the second time I've tried this, and it's still not functioning. It looks like I put them all in my default deck for whatever reason. I must not have changed it to 1 John, or it's just being persnickety. By the way, these are all the cards that we actually just made, and you can work through all of them just like your normal Anki deck. So you've made 236 cards all at once. This is obviously very useful for making a lot of cards at once, especially when they import correctly. Just try that again to see if I actually changed the deck or not. It'll import. Yeah, I had not changed it. I had not put them on 1st John. So if we do that, import them, and it's going to be funny now because the cards already exist in Anki. But anyway, so you need to change it to the proper deck when you first import the cards. You could move all these over later in the browse function if you wanted to, but that's for a different time. Anyway, so you can make a whole bunch of cards all in one fell swoop using Excel like this. It's useful if you have, again, Bible software like Concordance where you can do this. One of the drawbacks of this is very often you get cards where the gloss that you're given isn't the greatest, or you really need context to learn it, or you could have more easily learned it with an image, and those cards tend to add up, and you need a way to mark those out and review them, which you can do with Anki, but it ends up taking a bunch more time than it actually looks like it takes on the front end to make good cards this way. But it is a fast way to make a bunch of cards, and in that way it is very helpful, so hopefully you're able to benefit from seeing how to make a bunch of cards quickly using Excel.